Ramble On time.
Hell yeah. Okay, so let's take a scalpel to Joker.
There's going to be spoilers here. If you don't want spoilers, check out our American Recut first. But I was just going to kind of dive into Joker, our hot takes on it, things that bothered us, just generally kind of going wherever it goes.
Yeah, let's do that. So let's start with you, Tom. What did you like about the Joker? What didn't you like about the Joker?
I guess we have to do. You guys want to talk in terms of story effects, that sort of thing, or just go generally?
If you gotta fall back on something, start with one of those. But otherwise, just wherever you want to start.
Yeah. So I think in general, I liked that as far as a character-driven movie, Joaquin Phoenix did do, I think, a pretty effective job. But at the same time, the movie did, we've talked about this a little bit off recording here, where it's just a little bit, up its own butt. It's a little bit of a snobby feel to it, I think, in a lot of ways, and it's sort of trying to be like trying too hard almost.
It's so pretentious.
It's very that's it, and I think that
The movie ends with a scene where you have Joker, in the position on the cross, rising from the dead.
Yeah,
like blatant Jesus imagery. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of that in this movie where like they very clearly want you to feel like it's deep without being deep.
Yeah,
and that's always been kind of a bugbear of mine is when they do like the indie film tropes, as it were. Mm-hmm. And this movie is full of them, which is why, in my opinion, is that this is very much popcorn indie, where it's just dark enough that it feels like, ooh, this is getting edgy, but not dark enough that you feel like you're actually like getting disturbed by it or grossed out.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't even know if because it's pretty. I mean, it's disturbing in a sense, but it's no
Eraserhead.
Yeah, and I guess that I like the term that you've come up with there, and I think that I agree.
I think my big thing with this movie and why it's so weird, just to get into like comic book nerd shit, is I remember the Joker being fucking 65 years old.
No.
Batman comics.
That's the thing. So because they introduced Bruce Wayne as a 10-year-old and Joker as a weird 30-year-old.
This was a joke that like Red Letter Media would do for the prequel movies of like, well, at least they didn't ruin it by having like young Han meet young Luke. But this is one where it's like young Joker meet young Batman.
No, right. No, so I like the DC universe, and I do. The realization that that this weird age gap between Bruce Wayne and the Joker is just like it doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
I mean, what's going to happen is if they ever do a full Batman reboot and they need to dig up the Joker, it's just going to be like, oh no, the first Joker died like 30 years ago. I'm actually a different guy.
I would not like that at all. That's just me.
That's what they'll have to do because they can't get like aged up Joaquin Phoenix 65-year-old. They can't do that. It's going to be a new guy in the role, and it'll be fine. It'll be whatever. But this movie did not need to bring in Bruce Wayne and the DC universe in general. Just let it be standalone. It's fine. Let it do its own stupid RC shit.
So if I may kind of just dig in real quick, speaking of Joaquin Phoenix, I thought did a pretty good job. He seemed very comfortable in this role. He did a very good job portraying an actor post-Shyamalan movies.
Joaquin Phoenix did a fine Andy Kaufman.
He did, yeah.
If Andy Kaufman just never left his stage persona.
I did see the parallels between him and Andy Kaufman, right? So Nick did show me and Tom some clips of Andy Kaufman prior to recording, and I could see some parallels and some of the influence drawn from that.
I feel like that's kind of the real core of this movie, is that they wanted to make a love letter to Andy Kaufman through the lens of the Joker. Which is a big part why he goes on the late night show, why he's telling all these off-color jokes, why everything he finds funny is stuff that's kind of a very dark sense of humor to it.
Right. No, so the character acting was fine, even though it was just one-man stand, like we said.
Other characters existed, but
they did. But yeah, they were throwaways. Or, well, not entirely
largely props for Joaquin to act off of.
Exactly, yeah. The movie confused me because the tone seemed inconsistent, because it did preach certain themes, and it did go out of its way to go up its own butt for it, but then they remind us that this is a Batman-esque movie, I think.
I think it's appropriate for Joker at least to be kind of contradictory because he's always been kind of very contradictory for himself as well. If you want to go based on past movies. But clearly this movie doesn't want to be compared to past Jokers, so it doesn't get that privilege.
Right, no, they did try and make their own flavor of Joker, which is still better than Jared Leto.
If this is a standalone Joker, we don't get to compare it to other movies, just talk about the character of the movie and the stuff that's in this movie, then...
Oh yes,
there's a lot of pointless characters. Like there's the black woman who is like kind of a fake out Memento type thing, where it's like, oh my gosh, she was never real. It's like that was so pointless. There's like the little kid who's just kind of in this movie for some reason. This whole Tom Wayne thing that's completely pointless to Joker's character arc.
Yeah,
there's a Charlie Chaplin bit in this movie that was like, why are we talking about Charlie Chaplin? Why are we watching this?
Yeah, it did seem a little muddled in a lot of ways, and I think you made a comment when we were leaving. Nick, about just the movie kind of wanted to get to the end.
This was a movie that the first hour was just kind of like, okay, get the Shelley, get this out of the way. Okay, we have Joker now, finally.
Yeah, right. yeah. I think that they really just wanted to show this sort of crazy man going, even crazier.
If that's your end goal, why don't you get there about half an hour earlier? Cut out some half.
Right.
Get him stuff like start with his mom dying, or start with the worst week of his life, like one bad week, as they say in the comic, and then just go through the one bad week thing, and then we get to have Joker for halfway through the movie, and we get to have the fun of him building up his empire. The fun stuff of Joker, not the depressing comedian part that was before he became Joker. Which, granted, that may not be the movie that they wanted to make, but it would have been the better movie.
It would have, but no.
And if you're curious, yes, the shooting of Thomas and Martha Wayne is in the movie, despite it not fitting at all.
No, it's not. I was very annoyed by that, because Joe Chill, if you like the DC Comics, was the guy that shot.
And now Joe Chill is just a random protester on the street.
That pissed me off. That's just me. But,
so I think that...
if they had more Joker, they could have made it work better, but... No, it had to. We had to have this whole crazy descendants of lunacy,
and like the plot line about like did my mom fuck Tom Wayne or is she just crazy and beat me? Like that went nowhere either. It was just an excuse for him to kill his mom. Like just let him kill his mom. He's crazy. It's fine. You don't need a reason.
And that she was crazy too. I mean, like God, that just goes to show family insanity doesn't run in that family. It fucking gallops. I've sat on that joke for a while, I'm not going to lie.
But I appreciate that. So there's the Evan Kaufman angle, which helps a lot of the movie, but doesn't fix the movie. It helps a lot of the imagery in the movie, but take that for what you will. If you're going into something like Dark Knight or...
You're in for a bad time.
Like Mark Hamill Joker, then it's not that style of Joker in general.
Yeah, which in itself is, they're doing something a bit different, but it's, again, it goes back to that, is it really still a superhero villain type movie, or is it really something else? But it kind of is, and it's a weird hybrid sort of thing that...
He's the worst supervillain ever, if it is, because he's just a guy with a gun who keeps, like, getting gravely injured, but, like, walking There's also like this kind of vague, like Joker's the friend of the race struggle and race war, which maybe we don't want to put Joker on that side of it.
No, not at all.
Or at the very least, make it more clear that no, Joker's not doing this because he empathizes with anyone. He's just killing people because it's fun.
Yeah. Well, and maybe that's part of it. I will say, if nothing else, when we talk about this movie, it's giving us a lot to talk about. So to be fair, they have, I think there's a lot of angles that could be talked about.
Sure.
Whether they're actually good or not.
There are angles that we could talk about if this were an entirely different movie. If it wasn't attached to the DC universe, we could totally talk about it.
I think there is one angle I do want to talk about with this one, which is, I completely lost it, god damn it.
Hate that. Come back to you.
Yeah.
So we can, I think that's...
Well, you touched up Tom on mental health, and
Yeah, we can go there.
So the there was obvious class wars, but there's also very huge tones of mental health. The Joker claims he has a condition where he has uncontrollable spontaneous laughter.
Except it's kind of psychosomatic and very clearly is him worsening situations when he wants to get people to fight him.
Right.
Potentially. I don't know if I fully buy that for the whole thing.
I think it's supposed to be kind of psychosomatic because there's no official diagnosis of just spontaneous laughter that I know of.
Right. Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. It sort of touches on the mental health, but it's a movie that doesn't really go anywhere with it. It sort of just is like, yeah, he's crazy. He's getting crazier.
Which
it
We're all crazy.
Yeah.
If we want to get into that as well, this is the point I had earlier. I was trying to come up with was if this movie wanted to push the idea that Joker is having a bunch of political shit misattributed to him, if they wanted to push that angle, then they probably shouldn't have it be that every time he kills someone, they're actually having the protesters support him for the right reasons of why he killed that person. We know that the 3 Wall Street bankers get there, but what if he kills 5 other hobos on the side that nobody talks about because he killed the Wall Street bankers and they think that he's a pariah for that? I think that helps drive home the point that he's killing because it's fun, not because he has a point to it, but he'll gladly accept the spotlight for it.
Sure, I can kind of see that. But I think I finally kind of figured out why I was kind of uncomfortable with this movie. They were pushing a sympathetic loner kind of spiel, which no, I mean I don't feel comfortable pushing that kind of image for a sympathetic character. I
think that's part of the challenge in it, though. I suppose
there's the challenge, but I'm not sure if the sympathetic loner type thing was really the angle to go for with this movie, because it's okay to have your movie not like the character, but when they constantly frame him as the good guy in an unjust world that actually is being cruel to him, that plays into the stereotype about this movie that they probably loved when they heard about it. Yes, of course, it is the incel movie. They love these kinds of movies. We'll make it for them.
And there was that controversy. We can't deny that.
And I hate seeing that kind of clickbaity, terrible news type thing being right because of hackneyed filmmakers.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because it's something where the things that the Joker, the things that he's doing, are maybe he's doing it because I think maybe part of the perspective that it could be viewed from is that he is thinking that he is sort of still just in the right by taking out people who have slightly wronged him in a way.
Sure.
But clearly doesn't make it right, for one, and it's his perception, his misperception almost.
Well, there is an unreliable narrator, to a degree, but it only affects one character because the things that he does in this movie are he kills 3 Wall Street bankers who were beating him to death. He was doing it in self-defense, so actually justified, unfortunately. He smothers his mother, which is when it kind of starts getting a bit questionable.
He kills his former work friend.
Oh, he stabs the guy who sold him the gun.
Who he again, sees that, he
had history with him, I guess.
Right. And I guess in that,
I mean,
there's something there, but I guess still gotta put words to it.
But he lets the midget go.
Yes, right, and
he's acting on a moral code despite what he claims.
Right, but not but even in that sense, it doesn't. It's still a distorted, and again, it goes to unreliable narrator. But even from a bigger thematic sense, it's maybe something that we think, especially the whole societal thing. You think you're siding with someone because of a certain reason, and it's maybe you're not getting the full picture, and that's something is a little bit there.
It's a sense of justice,
but I don't know if I can. Yeah.
There's also another Chekhov's misfire that happens in this as well, which is very early on. they talk about how, like, you remember last time you were in the hospital? Do you remember why you went there?
Oh, good point.
And they never bring that shit up.
I wanted context into that. I would like to know what he had done to have landed himself there in the first place.
Which I figure at some point it'd be like, oh, the big reveal is he did kill someone and it was completely unjustified. But no, they never explain why he was in prison, so whatever.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Nope.
It's like he was never there. Because he doesn't have any kind of previous history with the two detectives who are looking into him, which is completely pointless. Holy shit.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
They have no prior history to look into. They have no arrest record. You know, when he went to a mental asylum for about 2 years. Why is that even in the movie?
Right. And then they were talking to his mother, and she went into hysterics, and
attack.
A lot of weird.
That was the point of the detectives, was to get his mom to finally go to a hospital bed so he could kill her.
Yeah.
What pointless characters.
Yeah.
What a thankless role.
Right. Yeah. So that a lot of that, it just I think doesn't contribute well to the rest of the.
I think that also if the point of the movie was to have Joker be a bad guy who you aren't supposed to like, why would you make so that the entire city is actually a hotbed of super corruption and every cop is like shooting innocent people on the train with misfires?
I know. Yeah. Why would you reinforce it? Why would you prove his points?
I guess it's really just about glorifying the Joker, which maybe let's not make that movie.
Yeah, let's not.
There is definitely a bit of that, and again, you can say like, well, hey, at least they're trying to do something a little different. But yeah, and I'm all for I'm all for a movie that doesn't end with a happy ending, right?
Sure.
Like, great, that's fine. But but no, I think the whole movie was essentially a miserable just.
I think the movie was just killing time until it got to the last half hour, and then it started having fun with itself and being decent.
Sure.
Like, basically from the moment that Joker dyes his hair green and goes on goes on a talk show, that's where you can feel like the heart of the movie is. Like, right. There's one particular part I like where like the screens are pulling back and they're like showing the clip of him killing a guy live on air, which he tells this joke. What do you get when you cross a homicidal, mentally unstable clown with an unjust society?
Yeah.
What you fucking deserve.
Yeah.
But when they show it on the re-air of it, like for like on TV, they censor the word "fuck" and then they show the brutal execution. Which I found to be a very funny, dark comedy moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, okay, the offensive part is the language, not the killing. Got it.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, you were mentioning that earlier. Yeah, no, I agree, and it definitely, that second half is certainly where a lot more, I think, interesting.
That's not the second half. That's like the last 20 minutes of the movie.
There's
so much pointless movie before that.
You're right. The last 10%, 5%.
If they had more Joker, that would have been great. But they had to get. They had to be so artsy fartsy with his descent into madness that it's just, I feel kind of robbed. I thought I was going to go see a Batman movie.
I get it. They wanted to explore him as a human before he kind of became a meme. But
sure.
I feel like it was the weakest part of the movie, was this kind of almost pointless stuff before he gets to become gets to be the Joker, gets to have that shot of self-confidence, the start of becoming a crime lord.
Right. No, every villain is the hero of their own story, and here is an example of that. That's what I was kind of expecting, but again, it's been like we were saying. It's one of two movies that morphed together to make this confusing thing.
Mm-hmm. All right, I feel like the conversation's winding down, so do we want to get back into our final takes on the movie and our final recommendation or non-recommendation?
Yeah, sure. I'll start with you, Nick.
All right, I think that with this movie, I feel like I've used this term a couple of times. I still think it's accurate. Popcorn indie. It very much presents itself as a movie that has deep themes and has deep ideas, but never goes more than its ankles getting wet before it kind of runs back out of the water. A lot of this movie is pointless. The first hour or so, there's this whole subplot about he has a girlfriend, but not really. She's a mental delusion, which is completely pointless. There's this stuff with his mom where the point is just to get her killed. Basically, there's a lot of the movie where they're just kind of untangling the tangles that they've given for themselves before they can get back on pace with a Joker movie. Ultimately, I think that there's some good stuff here if you look at it through the lens of just basically being Andy Kaufman. Otherwise, I don't think it's great. I think it's fine. It's Marvel issues, but with a new genre, which I don't like to see.
Yeah. How about you, Tom? What's your
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with you. I think a lot of this movie is a bit self-aggrandizing.
Such a hard word.
Because it's a fucking pretentious word, and that's again self-aggrandizing. And I think that takes away from a lot of it. I think that there are some good parts of this movie. I think there's definitely an effort to try to make something unique, but it sort of loses itself, and that definitely affects the overall enjoyment of the film. So yeah, overall, it's okay.
I would go see it because it does kind of pique a curiosity. You know, I mean, it certainly piqued mine. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not your average Batman movie, but you know what? Hey, go see it. You know, I mean, it has some good concepts, but the delivery is just weird. Kind of falls into weird places. So that's my review.
In a sense, sort of weird as it would be to sort of fall into a worse and worse mental state. That's the whole point of the movie.
Nice.
That's why they did it like that.
We did it. We captured the Joker. All right. Well, thanks for joining us on the Ramble On. This has been Nick.
This is Tom.
And this is Brendan.
Thanks, y'all.
Goodbye, folks.